Hi, I'm Mohammed. This is my assignment. I have selected the story A Respectable Woman. In this story, there are three characters, Mr. Gaston Baroda and his wife, Mrs. Baroda, and also his old friend, Mr. Governor. The character I have selected is Mr. Gaston Baroda. And now I am going to give a small summary of this beautiful story. This is a story about a married couple, Gaston Baroda, a sugar plantation owner, and his wife, Mrs. Baroda. The story tells of a visit by one of Gaston's old college friends and the way his wife deals with the issue upon learning that his friend was coming up to stay at their plantation. Baroda is somewhat disappointed to learn that her husband's friend Governor is planning to spend a week or two at their plantation, since they had been busy all winter and she had planned a period of rest and conversations with her husband Gaston Baroda. She has never met Governor, although she knows that he and her husband had been friends in college and that he is now a journalist. She pictures him as a tall, slim, cynical man and did not like the mental image. But when she meets the slim but neither tall nor cynical Governor, she finds that she actually likes him. Mrs. Baroda cannot discern why she likes Governor, since she does not see all of the positive traits described by Gaston. He does not seem brilliant, but he does seem quiet and polite in response to her eagerness to welcome him and her husband's hospitality. He makes no particular attempt to impress her otherwise, and he enjoys sitting on the portico and listening to Gaston describe sugar planting, although he does not like to fish or hunt. Although Governor puzzles Mrs. Baroda, he is lovable and inoffensive. She leaves him alone with her husband at first, but soon began to accompany him on walks as she attempts to overcome his reticence. Her husband tells her that he will stay for another week and asks why she does not wish him to stay. She responds that she would prefer him to be more demanding, which amuses Gaston. Gaston tells Mrs. Baroda that Governor does not accept a commotion over his presence and that he simply wishes for a break from his busy life, although she declares that she accepted him to be more interesting. Later that night, she sits by herself on a bench, feeling confused and wanting to leave the plantation for a while. Having told her husband that she might to go to the city in the morning and stay with her aunt, while she sits, Governor sees her and sits next to her. Not knowing her displeasure at his presence, Governor hands her a scarf on Gaston's behalf and murmurs about the night, and his silence disappears as he becomes talkative for the first time. He speaks to her of the old days and of his desire for a peaceful existence. She does not listen to his words so much as his voice, and she thinks of drawing him closer, although she resists because she is a respectable woman. Eventually she leaves and Governor remains behind finishing his addresses to the night. Mrs. Baroda wants to tell Gaston of her strange folly, but she realizes sensibility that she must handle this feeling by herself. The next morning she leaves for the city and does not return until Governor departs. Gaston wants Governor to return the next summer, but she refuses. She later changes her mind, delighting her husband, who tells her that Governor did not deserve her dislike. She kisses her husband and tells him that she has overcome everything and that she will now treat him more nicely.